to the live stream here. For those of you watching in the future, because nobody's watching it currently. Because I just started and I did not prompt anybody for this, but I want to go through. Okay, what's wrong with my car? And I love all these keyboard mechanics. Don't get me wrong; they're kind of on the right track, but at the same time, it's like I know what's wrong with my car. You know, and then I got this really sexist comment, just like, "Oh, you just need to find yourself a man." You know, it's cheaper than a shop. It's like, oh my god, dude, you did not just freaking say that. Like, are you serious? No. So what's wrong with my car? Well, two things for sure are wrong with my car. That the timing chain is stretched, and that the carburetor jets are too big. Now, carburetor jets being too big can actually cause a sort of sputtering that seems like a misfire. And it's so funny. People are like, "Oh no, it can't. That's not true." No, it actually is if you look it up. Like, that's why I'm trying to find these jets, and it's been so can't find them anywhere. I've called around to I don't even know how many places at this point. Probably a good 15 places. I've looked online. There is one place online that sells them too, but they are super expensive. Like, okay, they're about $5 a piece, but then with shipping and everything, that's $5 American a piece, and then with shipping and everything, it was going to be another $20. Convert that to Canadian, I'm paying over $50 and waiting 20 days for it. Just, I wasn't going to do that. Just not, no. So yeah, it's just god, these people are just, it's so funny. Like, a lot of them are trying to help, don't get me wrong, but they're not helping. That's all. Because I know my car. I know my car quite well. I rebuilt this thing just about from the ground up. Granted, with some help at times. Absolutely. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I won't be here for terribly long though, because I need to clean my car and then go to the car meet tonight. I still got a couple hours though before the car meet starts. Starts at 6. It's only 4, so I'll probably do this for maybe about an hour and then head out. But yeah, no. Sorry for the little rant there. It was just one of those deals, right? Yeah, it's just funny. It's just funny. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm here though. The problem is, okay, for carburetor jets, I'd be pulling carburetors apart and seeing if I can even get them loose, which and I need to find the correct carburetor. And the problem is, most Autolite 2100 carbs do not have 40 jets in them. They usually have about 50. So that's kind of the problem, right? We came across this already. Over at Roy's, he took apart 3 different carburetors. And my carburetor had 55 jets in it. He found a carburetor with 50 jets, but that's the best we could do. Nobody stocks these other than online. It's very, very irritating, to be honest. There's somebody that commented on my post, so hey, local stores here sell them for $5 a piece. I'm just okay, go buy me a couple. I will pay you and ship them to me. Because yeah, if somebody could find me 40 series jets that are not going to cost me $50 to get here, I will pay them for it. I don't care if it costs me $20, $30. I don't care. But I need these. Because otherwise the car is just going to keep running like crap. Yeah, 60 way too high. Yeah. No, yeah, way too high. I said 40. 40. I currently have 50 in the car right now. Because, again, that's the smallest we could find around his property at the time. So, yeah, it's not fun that way. Yeah, like I said, and if any of you can find me 40 series jets that are not going to cost me $50 to get here, I will buy them. Guaranteed, I will buy them. If you go to a store and you find some, pick them up. I will buy them off of you, and I will pay the mailing fee, shipping, whatever you want to call it. I don't care, because you can just technically put them in a little plastic bag, like a baggie, then throw them in a letter, envelope, and send them. Because I'm still waiting for the timing chain, which is funny actually, because the timing chain, like I know my timing chain is stretched. You can hear it on startup. It slaps. You can hear it. It's not piston slap. It is the timing chain slap. There's a big difference between the two. And it's one of these things. And there's so many people saying, "Oh, well, have you done a compression test? Compression test? Compression test?" Like, I know the motor is healthy because before all this, before the carburetor was put on and everything, I mean, it ran like crap, but it ran like decent enough. But that was because the carburetor, it just was not in good shape. Didn't have a proper choke on it or anything like that, right? And like, yeah, like down the road, maybe I'll go to a Holley carburetor and that'll solve everything and, have all the aftermarket and stuff. But these Autolines don't have a lot of aftermarket. It's kind of sad. Or I should say Motorcraft technically. Because, yeah, Autoline rebuilds them, but they're Motorcraft carburetors. So, I don't know. But yeah, like I've exhausted all of my resources at this point trying to find these damn things. Like the only other things is maybe in like drag racing groups nearby or something like that I might be able to post in and ask. And a couple of other classic car groups, because that's all I've got right now. And like, hey, Mr. Mach 1. I'm looking for carburetor jets for an Autoline 2100 carburetor. Specifically 40s is what I need. Yeah, which I cannot find. I can find them online for way too much money, but I'm not gonna pay $50 for 2 carburetor jets. That's stupid. Like that's with shipping and everything on top of plus conversion rate, blah blah blah, right? Like I'd pay 30, absolutely, to get them here. If you do, like, please let me know. Yeah, if you can find some, please. Because if they're 40s, I will pay you for those. Absolutely, I will pay the shipping to get them here, everything. Well, if you can find them in there, please. Please do. Because yeah, any of the Motorcraft carburetors, any of those jets will work, just as long as they're a 40 jet. Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate it, Mach 1. Yeah, if you can search for them and find them, please let me know. And then we'll go from there, because I'm assuming you know how to contact me. There's a couple of ways to do it, and actually in my description on YouTube, it shows all of it on my about section. But yeah, so that would be really cool if you can find them, because as long as they work, I don't care. It's a Autoline 2100 carburetor. It has a 1.08 Venturi, and yeah, it's a 375 CFM. Not that any of that matters other than Autoline, because Autoline and /Motorcraft use the same jets throughout all of their carburetors. If you find a 4-barrel one, that'll probably be the chance, actually, of having the correct jets in it. So, yeah. Hopefully. It's just like, I just want this thing fixed, and it'll take, like, literally, as soon as I have the jets, it'll take me all of about 5 minutes. I don't even have to pull the I don't even have to pull the carburetor off. I just have to take the top of it off. Which is quite convenient that you can do that. And okay, I definitely appreciate it, Mr. Mach 1. Thank you so much. Yeah, hopefully you can find some that are the correct size. Well, there you go. So that may be it. Hopefully. We have fun here. Even though I'm losing my mind, but we're having fun. There's like a smile about it though, right? And like in all these keyboard mechanics, just going, oh, that's definitely 40. 40. 40. Or I guess that way for you. Is it? I don't know. Regardless, 40. 40. I'm assuming you're writing it down, that's why. Yeah, we definitely have fun here, that's for sure. And there's so many like keyboard mechanics that said, oh, that's a burnt exhaust valve. Go check your compression. I have 50s on it currently, and the 50s are too big. 40 should be about optimal. I mean, and if you happen to find like a 40, and then if you happen to find like even like 35s or so, send both, and then pull both. And if the 40s happen to be too big, which I don't think they should be, 40s should be the optimal size for this. Talking with people who are like experts on carburetors and stuff like that too, because I do consult, obviously, but I was thinking 40s should be good too, and they agreed with me. So there you go. Like Roy is one of those people that really knows carburetors very well. He's the one that helped me with the whole setup here. So I'm not sure what you mean. What makes me think is the jet size? Because okay, when you're going down the road in this thing and you're just maintaining speed, it has this almost sputtering that feels like a miss, which when carburetor jets are too big, they will do that. Plus, the carburetor will flood as well, which that can be a byproduct of actually too big of jets as well. So, because I know that the float should be set correctly. I know that Roy from Roy Marco's garage, he set the float twice, because the first time it was too much or not enough, and then it was perfect after that. But after I got here, it runs worse here. Whenever I'm up in Edmonton, it seems to run better, which might be elevation difference too. There is an elevation difference, because it's much lower in Edmonton. I'm much higher here. Yeah, so there is that to consider too. It's just one of those deals. But I mean, other than that, like, I mean, I'm setting my car right now, obviously, and like, let's see, I just had it running 20 minutes ago. You see, and you can tell the carburetor's flooded because it's doing that, right? But if I give it full throttle here, and see, it starts right up. So yeah, and then it'll start to kind of miss and stuff like that, which I've replaced other than a distributor and the plug wires. Everything else has been replaced, which those plug wires are only 2 years old. They're starting to get a little stiff, but they're still fine. So that's why it's like, okay, it's not the plug wires and it's not the spark plugs, because I pulled them 2 days ago and they're fine. They really have almost no color on them whatsoever. So yeah, like when I pulled well, actually, when I first did this, oh, where did I put those spark plugs? I have my old spark plugs still, because now they're NGKs in this thing, and I might put in the Autoline coppers. No, they're not wet. They're fine. Like, To be honest, they are fine. You look at them. Well, actually, if you want to really quick, I did a YouTube short just a couple days ago. It'll show like the thumbnail for it is just like 6 spark plugs on the thing. Well, Roy is the one that bought the NGKs for me and said that they're better for oil fouling and stuff like that. Because I did foul the last ones. They just need to be cleaned up and that, which I will probably end up cleaning them up, regapping them, and putting them back in the car. I have some Autolite coppers. Don't worry about that. They're around here somewhere. I thought they were in here, but maybe not. I may have put them inside. But yeah, I do have some, like I said, I have some Autolite coppers, so no worries about that. It just, again, they are, they're just fouled, but with a little, just a wire brush and stuff like that, and then, you know, gapping it should be fine. But we just put the NGKs on it because that's what Roy Markle said, and which I know that these run the best on the Autolites. But he said, well, because they were foul, you know, these are better for fouling. But to be honest, I know that the coppers are the best for this. I do know that. Don't worry about that. But yeah, you know. And I wasn't gonna say no to the car or to the new plugs, to be honest. I'm not that kind of person. You know, especially when you pay for them, it's just like, well, okay, fine, I'll try them. See, but it's not. But the problem is, it's not the spark plugs though. Like, spark plugs are fine, just because they're NGKs, which NGK is not a bad spark plug at all. You know, like I have NGKs in the Civic, and they work great. Even though the Civic's not currently here and, you know, doesn't run like off its own fuel system, but when we have had it running just by dumping fuel down the carburetor, it runs great. Appreciate that. Thank you. Where are my... I should have my spark plugs in here, but I don't know where they might be. They might be in the trunk, mind you. They're probably in the trunk. But it's all good. I mean, I'm not going to be on this for terribly long. Like, I still need, let's see. Okay, it's 419. See, and people are also trying to say, like, vacuum leaks. I'm going, but I've had vacuum leaks. That's not what this is. You can also hear a vacuum leak, too. You can't hear any vacuum leaks in this whatsoever, so... yeah, that's all good. Just again, people are always throwing those out, right? Just, oh, it's your compression, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. It's this, like, I know the issue is with my car. I know my car. I've built it. Right? But it's all good. It's all good. So how are you lovely people this Friday evening? Well, for me, it's afternoon, technically. It's not evening yet. But, you know, obviously I'm out here. Yesterday I was out in a tank top and shorts and it was wonderful. It was 17 degrees and just perfect. Today I'm in jeans and a tank top, but, you know, I'll wear a hoodie later tonight for the car meet. Because, yeah, should be a fun time. Last week we got snowed out of our car meet, so, you know, like, I don't know the vacuum, but I know it's not a vacuum issue. Because it shouldn't be. Like, I don't have a vacuum gauge for anything. And I don't have an air-fuel ratio thing in my car or anything like that. You know, people tell me, oh, you should get this stuff. It's just like, yeah, I probably, but I don't want an air-fuel ratio gauge, though. I don't like them. You know, I just think they look like crap in a car. Like, okay, sure, I would set one up, and hide it, like put it in my glove box type idea. Just have it there, and then when I need to, if the car's running like crap, just open it and check it. Because otherwise, it's just an eyesore in the car when you have all these original gauges and you have this modern gauge that's all, you know, LED and crap. It just doesn't look right. Plus, I don't like adding gauges when you don't need to. Like, I have all the gauges I need. You know, I have my... The only thing is, I'd like to actually change a couple of them to have actual numbers on them. Because I do have, you know, like, my amperage gauge just says DC, and that's it. You know, with a couple of lines in it. My temperature gauge is cold, hot, and normal. My oil pressure gauge is low, hot, and then there's just an entire gauge in between that, which, you know, yeah, oh, I know. I just don't have one. And I'm kind of not really in the market for one only because I don't have money. Like, yeah, I'm spending money on my car that I don't really have. It's kind of a problem. I need to stop. Like, once the car's fixed, I'm not touching it. That'll be the last thing. When, you know, I find these jets, get them in, the car and the timing chain is in, we're done. Not touching the car for quite a while. It'll save me a bunch of money. And to think, all of this started because I put that freaking carburetor on it. Like, that's the thing that people don't understand. It's not that this is a recurring issue. It didn't do this before. It's when I put that carburetor on it, and it's the jets in the carburetor. But we did know, I did know that I wanted to replace my timing chain anyways, and it is a little slack. We've used a, now we did not check the vacuum advance on the timing, but the timing itself at idle is at 10 degrees initial, which is perfect, to be honest. Like, absolutely optimal is 12 degrees on this motor, but 10 degrees is fine. Don't have any issues with that. But 67s, holy crap. Okay, yeah, no worries. I definitely appreciate it though. Thank you. Hopefully you can find them, right? Yeah, just fingers crossed. Because, like, there was somebody, it's funny, because I made a post on Facebook, and then one of my friends commented, just like, I can find those for $5 a piece at local stores. Just like, okay, get me them and I will pay for it. I don't know if they're actually going to do it or not, or if they were thinking Hollies, because yes, Hollies are everywhere. You can get Holly and Edelbrock jets everywhere, but yeah, to get you know, Motorcraft or Autolines, it's difficult. Very difficult. But, you know. Yeah. This all started with the new carburetor. Now, it did not have this kind of a sputter that it has right now that feels like a mess. But I know it's not really a mess because I say it is, but it's not. It feels like one, but it can't be. At this point, because everything besides the distributor, but again, the distributor was fine before. Why would it be different now? And going through a bunch of stuff, you know, because I was doing upgrades at the same time, because it's like this is stuff I wanted to do anyways. Like the timing chain, that was an upgrade thing that I wanted to do. I finally ordered one. The coil, again, upgrade thing. I wanted it. You know, which has a Super SL super coil on it right now. It, you know, great coils. You know, yesterday I put on a new ignition module on the car. Which that was just confirming. I didn't think there was anything wrong with my old one, but it was just a confirmation of like, well, this was only $60. They had it in stock here in Sundry. Why not? I could put it in 5 minutes. And I did, right? Which that one is, the original one is inside. Because that was the last video I did, which is showing that. I mean, to be honest, the other stuff that I've done to this thing, it loved it. Like, when I put on the new rad, it was happy. When I put on a new water pump, again, it was happy. When I put on any of the parts, really. it's been fine. It's just that carburetor, right? But again, I'd be upset too if you're trying to give me too, like, if I was that carburetor and you're trying to put too much fuel into the motor from it, I'd be upset too. Because yeah, it just has this slight sort of, it feels like a mess. I already know that there isn't a vacuum leak. I've tested that. Plus, you can hear a vacuum leak too, but I've tested it anyways. I have sprayed all around. I've sprayed every single vacuum port as well, where the hoses are, and again, nothing changed. So, no, I promise you, it's not a vacuum leak. The vacuum it's producing is fine because the thing is, vacuum, that hasn't changed. You know, we we deleted actually a lot of the like the thing is, because when we did the carburetor upgrade, we deleted all of the emissions. To be honest, didn't have to do much of a rebuild at all. Inside, we took a look at everything. It was in great shape. I had a rebuild kit, but we're looking at it going, none of this stuff is wore out. And the story that I was told was, looking at everything, was correct. When I got this carburetor, which bear in mind was a gift, so nobody lies about gifts when it comes to this. This guy bought this carburetor, new from bumper to bumper. It's a reman from Autoline, and had it on his Bronco with a 351 Windsor in it for 500 kilometers. Then he took it off and went to a 4-barrel because he just wanted more power and stuff like that, which is fine, right? Then it kind of sat on a shelf for a few months, and then he came down looking at a truck, and he just gave it to me because I told him I could potentially use that carburetor, which at the time, yes, I could. I was gonna throw it on this, and which I finally did. That's carburetor's been sitting on my shelf for a few months, and then the thing is, because the first time we didn't take it apart when we did all that stuff. Mopar nut, there's no vacuum leaks. I promise you. It's the jets in the carburetor. I can just about like 95% guarantee it's the jets in the carburetor being too big because I already know they're too big. And the thing is, too big of jets in a carburetor can cause a sort of sputtering that feels like a miss, which I've already diagnosed it's not a miss, technically speaking. It's definitely carburetor related, and that's fine. And it's going to be those jets. I guarantee. I can just about guarantee. No, they're fine. The plugs are totally fine. You can Mopar nut. You can literally. There is a video on my channel. You can go watch it. It's about a 54-second video. A short video. I just posted it the other day of checking the plugs. They were fine. There's a little bit of wear just from driving it. Because yeah, that's 450 kilometers of driving on those plugs. Yeah, and I'm assuming I just lost a few people because they're going to go watch it. Because I don't have them. I don't know where they are. They should be here, but they're not. So it's kind of weird. That's okay. They're probably in my trunk. Actually, no, they wouldn't be in my trunk. They're probably inside. So I'll find them. The old plugs, which are the Autolites, which I'd prefer in this motor, to be honest. I've never had any issues with Autolite or plugs ever. Other than these ones fouling. I've fouled 2 sets of plugs now. But when you dump too much fuel on them, they will foul. Yeah, I know. I know Mopar nut. But the thing is, NGKs are actually really good at not fouling, though. Autolites, oh yeah, they'll foul pretty quick. These seem to be okay, but the thing is, it's not really running that rich. It's actually not at all. Like once you have it running down the road, it's not too bad. Like, of course, there's that little bit of a sputter. Yeah, most people hate NGKs, but to be honest, Like, they'll say, "Oh, I hate NGKs," but the Japanese have been using NGKs forever, and they have some of the most reliable vehicles on the planet. So, I don't have any bad issues with NGKs. I really don't. Like, I put NGKs in the Civic. You know? But yes. Like, the plugs are fine. They're gapped correctly and everything like that too. So let's see. Well, I've never had issues with NGKs. I've used in other vehicles and stuff like that. We've put NGKs, we've put just about every single one you can think of in cars. Hell, we had a truck which it was a 99 Ram. It was so weird. And you could tell this was a farm truck guaranteed. But where the hell he got this one spark plug from was pretty funny. Because I bought him, actually, it was for his birthday. I bought him some spark plugs and, threw him in the car for or threw him in the truck for him. Just because it's like, okay, it was running pretty good and everything, but, it just, why not, right? And we pulled the plugs on it. And hardly any of them mismatched. Like, hardly any of them matched, I should say. I think 4 of the 8 plugs actually matched, and we had a +4 in there. I'm going, what the hell is that doing in here? Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Slacker. It was doing the same thing on the Autolite carburetor or on the Autolite plugs. Which, granted, that was with bigger jets than it has now, but still, it's the jets in the carburetor. I promise you, it's the jets in the carburetor. Ah! Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair. What was that? Oh, tracking update. Well, can they just tell me when it's here? Like, I'm getting sick and tired of these tracking updates, and they're not here. I mean, to be honest, just about every Japanese vehicle uses NGKs too. It's not just motorcycles. Like my Civic from the factory had NGKs in it because I pulled the factory NGKs out of it because they were not replaced. It was kind of cool when I did that. And I put NGKs back in it. It's like, yeah. So, but it's not the plugs causing the issues. I already know that. It's not the plugs because again, it was doing this with the other plugs. So, and I know the jets are already too big because before it was bad. This thing was horrible with the jets. What am I going to do if it doesn't fix it? Well, I'm pretty sure that is going to fix it. And if not, I'll delve a little deeper, which I've basically replaced everything at this point. So, it's going to probably be the only thing I haven't touched is the distributor, which it could be like, because it could be an actual miss and not sputtering because of the jets, because it can do that kind of a miss from oversized jets. But that's what I'm thinking it is. And to be honest, talking with Roy Marco, he thinks that's the issue too. And he also said, the timing chain was wore, which I knew that, but him and Sandy just confirmed, hey, the timing chain is actually slapping now, which I never really paid attention to that noise, but yeah, I probably should have. So I've got that new double roller coming in. It'd be much better on the car. And what's cool now, you can't do the. You can do a little bit on that, but you do have to be careful, because, of course, yeah, trust me, this thing is dialed in when it comes to the tuning of the carburetor. Like, it actually idles, like, well, here. Here. Like, it's popping a little bit and stuff. But, yeah. And to be honest, it was actually Roy that tuned the carburetor, not me. But he knows his stuff. He really does. But you might be able... I don't know if you can actually hear it, for sure. Like, I'm not sure if you guys can hear that miss or not, you know, but it actually idles pretty smooth. It's just, you can definitely see it though when it does miss. Because when you first start this thing up in the morning, it idles fantastic, like once it's warmed up a little bit. But then once you drive it and then park it again, it's not running quite as good anymore. Which, carburetor jets, right? And like you can see, you know, plenty of fuel. And it still has, now, there is one issue with this, which this wouldn't cause any issues when it comes to the fuel pressure or anything like that. Is if you take a look, it is leaking oil. Like, that fuel pump is leaking oil. So, and you know, we do have a new cap and rotor on it. They're blue streaks. And that new Super Silk coil down there. Plus what I did yesterday is the new ignition module. So, yeah. So see what I mean, right? Like, it's not... That's why when people are saying that, it's just doesn't make sense to me, that's all. And to Roy too, because Roy Marco of Roy Marco's Garage, oh, for sure. Don't get me wrong. It is like the distributor is seized into the block, so if it had any play, I'd be shocked. Like, to be honest, I can't actually check the distributor at all. It's seized into the block. Which is a very common Ford issue. I know that. So I can't do anything about that. Like, I will try to. The problem is, it's trying to get it unseized without snapping it is very, very hard to do. You know, I definitely appreciate you coming out to the live stream, and yeah, so that's, you know, it's probably those jets in the carburetor, I'm thinking. But yeah, I definitely appreciate you coming out, and yeah. I look forward to giving you updates. There should be, there should be another update here soon on the vehicle. I try to put out videos every couple of days, but sometimes that gets a little slower. It just depends. So there's plenty of content out there on my channel. Which, and also, I do want to say, before, you know, too many people dip out or I end this, because not ending it yet. Yeah, I mean, I would replace the distributor if I had the money, but I don't. There you go. See, there's... There's Roy in the comments right there, right? There, which he is the one that... He mostly did the swap himself, to be honest, on my motor. And he's the one been helping me when it comes to getting this thing dialed in just right. He's the one that tuned the carburetor and everything. So, yeah. But I mean, I'd love to replace the distributor just because, hey, it, you know, with just another Duraspark, because they are actually the best distributor. Yeah, it definitely does. Which I should, because I do have a torch that I could put to it, heat it up a little bit, just let it cool, heat it up, let it cool type idea, for about a week straight and see if I can get it to turn at all. But, you know, which might be my best course of action when it comes to that, but it's not high priority. The high priority is getting this thing running right. Which the distributor will help with that, don't get me wrong, because it should be, after that carburetor got put on, it should be retimed. But it's going to be, once we have that double roller in as well, we'll have it retimed again. So Croyle oil. I'm not sure if I've heard of Croyle oil, to be honest. I gotta love these little magnets. Although this one broke, so I have it taped up. But oh, see, here's the thing. PB Blaster has not really helped with me. Actually, the stuff that I use, is it back here? Yes, it is. The stuff that I use, which does work better than everything I found so far, is cat's ass. Right? This stuff is honestly really good. I've used it on a few things and it has worked. But I think this combined with the torch, like not lighting this stuff on fire, but heating it up, letting it cool, spraying it with this, and doing that for like a week straight, right? Just doing that should be able to get it free, I think. But yeah, the stuff is kick ass. I love it. Plus, I mean, it almost has my name in it. Like, it's cat's ass. This has been tested actually because a buddy of mine, Cody, he recommended this stuff to me. Because I'm like, I've never really heard of it. But they did actually, there was a test done between a bunch of different ones. There was PB Blaster, there was WD-40, like CRC as well, and a few others. And this one came out on top for resistance and stuff like that, and actually getting it done. So that's why I use it. That's from his recommendation. Oh, yeah, sure. And actually, that's yeah, because it's gotten worse though. I will admit, like driving around town, like that little stumble, that hasn't gotten worse. But the actual car like bogging down at times has, because it does. Well, hey, if because yeah, like, because Roy's the one helping me out with this. So he's a really good guy, to be honest, and I really appreciate all of his assistance. Because once this is finally done, my visits up there won't just be, hey, let's fix my car and then go cruising afterwards. It'll be, hey, we can work on one of your cars and then go cruising, or just go cruising, because we cruise every single time I've been up there, except for when we actually did the carburetor swap, we did not go cruising. But hey, what dog? How's it hanging? Definitely appreciate you coming on the live stream. This won't be on for terribly much longer because I do have to. It's 4:45 right now, and I have a car meet for 6 o'clock. So at about 5:30ish, I'll head out, clean out the car, and do that. Oh yeah, it's not uncommon for these to snap. To the left. No worries. I found 40s online. Yeah, it would be nice if, spend an actual day with it, not just a couple hours. It would be better, to be honest. Like, I don't know, one of these days I could wake up like really early and come up there. Like leave here at like 6 or 7 o'clock and then get there, by about 10ish. 9, 10. See, I know he's joking with the LS thing because even he's not a big fan of them. Although he does have an LS in one of his vehicles, but he likes his carburetors. Which, oddly enough, I know a chick that does only carbureted LSs though. Her name is Olivia Scafidi, I think. I don't know. She has a weird last name, but she actually has a YouTube channel. And that's how we met. And she's a really cool chick. She's got this badass 72 Firebird, I think it is. So, don't get me wrong, LS motors are great. I'm never putting one in this car though. This thing is staying a 6. It's gonna stay either with this 6 or down the road, I will get a Barra from Australia and we'll throw that in this because that'll be amazing. And plus, it's a Barra. You know, everybody has an LS in their Mustang. No, I don't want an LS. Everybody has an LS. Your mother might have an LS and you don't know it. You know, like I like being different that way. And it's just, there's nothing wrong with an LS. Great motors, but just not for me. That's all. Not in this car. Other vehicles, I would actually consider an LS. See, like, there are some vehicles where I would LS. Like, if it's a weird kind of car for that, I would put that. Well, actually, Roy, I had a question for you because, okay, obviously we cannot rethread the carburetor because it's too fine. Could we rethread a jet though? Because I just thought of that now, to be honest. Hey, and Coyotes are fantastic too. The only problem is how freaking complicated they are. Like, with the quad overhead cam and how big too. Like, an LS is nice and small, but the Coyote has a massive engine. Even though it's only 5 liters, but that quad overhead cam. Oh, okay, yeah, we have to do that on the lathe then. Oh wait, no, the thread size is bigger on mine, is what you mean? Well, Claw will what? Oh, okay, okay. Well, grind them down and then add too much metal on it with weld and then do it that way. I'm joking, of course. Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating. Like, see, if I could find some jets, it'd be cool, but it's been annoying to try and find them. Pretty much, yeah. Anyways, Mach 1, I definitely appreciate you coming to the live stream. Hope you have a pleasant evening, and I'll catch you later. Bye. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the Coyote is a great motor, and I've had experience with 2 Coyotes. Never in a Fox body though. They were in a 2020 Mustang and a 2014 Mustang. Honestly, their get up and go is amazing. They have a bunch of power. They're great, but not for me. Not in this car. It's just, I don't feel like, because it is a bit of a shoehorn even to fit one of those in there. Coyotes can be expensive, and like the thing is, if I was ever to throw a Coyote in this thing, it wouldn't be a traditional Coyote. I would try and find a Voodoo, which that's the 5.2 with the flat plane crank. That's why it's flat plane crank. Like, you know, because it's just cool, right? And they rev so much higher. And they're awesome. Hey, nothing wrong with Ferds. Don't go dissing my Ferds. Yeah, I know. The Voodoos are very expensive. I know that. But to be honest, that's like the only V8 I'd shove in this car. I don't want any other V8. You know, unless somebody gets me some weird, like, if somebody got a 289 and put Hemi heads on it or something like that, I'm in, or a 429. You know, like okay, drop that in here, sure. 31 in Cleveland's kind of cool. Because yeah, Gen 2 is a 426, and yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and you know, you want to see how cheap I am at times when it comes to stuff. This thing broke on me. This cheap little Titan thing. So I just duct taped the crap out of it. So it still works, but it's just duct tape like hell. So that goes to show you how broke I am. Because even one of these, you know, they're like $5, but it makes a difference. Try and save money where I can, but you know, it's all good. But parts of my car I don't cheap out on anymore though. I try and go for an upgrade than stock, or at the very least stock and not a cheap stock part, right? So try to do that anyways. But yeah, we'll see. At least that's what I've been doing lately. Because I built this car when I first got it on the road. It was 95%, I think, off of Rock Auto and like 5% Napa. Now it's leaning towards getting all of the Rock Auto stuff off of it. Other than the rear springs came from Rock Auto. No, yes, rear springs came from Rock Auto. So did all the braking stuff. But I've only done rear brakes on this. Front brakes have not been done yet. Like the cabin rotor, which we already replaced. And the shocks all the way around came from Rock Auto. But it's Monroe's shocks. The springs. Oh no, actually, springs I think came from Napa. That's right. When I ordered those. But it's only rear springs. I haven't done front springs yet. But the front springs are fine. It was the rear springs that wore out. But yeah, you know, it's just one of those things. And doing that stuff, I mean, hell, even normally I would cheap out on wipers, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to spend more on wipers. Yeah, it depends. Like, the thing is, I've noticed, depending on what it is, because I don't have the luxury that you have of going to like JB Power Center and stuff like that. There is a bumper to bumper here in town, but I haven't really had much luck with them, and they can be more expensive than Napa. Oh yeah, like the thing is, it's not always a bad thing to cheap out. It's really not. But yeah, you are, and you get the discounts too, which is nice. I don't get the discounts like you do. Like, don't get me wrong. Depending on what it is, at Napa, I get a 15% discount as long as I order through Cody. But if I don't order through Cody, it costs me 15% more. But a lot of the times that, you know, like yesterday when I replaced the ignition module, that was honestly cheaper than anywhere else I had seen for that ignition module. It was great. You know, that was actually I have the receipt right here. With tax and everything, it was $63.34. Everywhere else I was looking was $80 for one, because I was curious about it. Because, you know, I don't know when I'm gonna get that MSD from my buddy, if he can even find it. Because yeah, I would love to go to an MSD someday on this though, and then do MSD wires as well, and be nice. But because yeah, I can order a set of MSD wires for this, but they're pricey. They're like $140, but worth it, right? See, I can still find the $200 to $300 cars every now and then, but it's not very often. 75 bucks. I mean, I'd be in for that. Just not right now though, but I will definitely keep that in mind. Because yeah, I do want to replace those, because those plug wires, they're starting to get a little stiff and stuff like that, and I would just like to go to an upgraded and preferably go back to the stock width, which is 8.5 millimeter, not this 8 millimeter that I have on it now. You know, get the better spark to go with my, you know, my super cell coil. Yeah, because basically, if you can get, ooh, yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, for sure, that would be perfect. Yeah, hey, I'm okay with that. If we have to build them ourselves, that's totally cool. I've never built plug wires, actually. I've only ever ordered them. So, it'd be kind of fun, actually, to do. So, yeah, no. And, yeah. No, that'd be neat. Yeah, I'd totally be down for that. You know, yeah, so that's basically like, for now, like, when I have more money built up and stuff like that, I will order plug wires, but it'll be a while. Like, we'll get those tailors and then do it that way. And then that's gonna be it for quite a while for doing any mods to the car. After that, because like, I really need to stop spending money on the car. That's fair. I mean, hey, I trust your opinion on that. Absolutely. So yeah, if you swear by him, sure. Which it was funny because people in the chat were saying, "Oh, NGK spark plugs are terrible." Well, I mean, I'd have more car part money if people donated money to me. I mean, just saying. Yes, I know I'm funny. Leave me alone. But I don't think you fully realize how broke I am. Because yeah, I mean, right now I'm in my overdraft at the moment, and I just got paid. It's pretty bad. But I'm used to that position. Like, people are just like, "Oh, how could you do that?" Just like, well, when you're used to it, you can still do the stuff you kind of want to do. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see, $6.23 Canadian. Exactly. See, and I'm not going to. I will never be upset about free parts ever. So like, and I know NGK plugs are fine. Like, yeah, if you were just like, hey, here's some random freaking plug I've never heard of, well, there's a different story. But NGK is totally fine. Like, I might, like, yeah, I have no issues with the NGKs. If they give me issues in the future, I've still got the coppers just to clean up and throw back in if I need to. So it's totally fine. I see there. Okay, finally, there's one person in here that uses NGKs on not a motorcycle. There, so that should dispel it for everybody. Mind you, some of the people that were saying that are not here no more. But yeah, all these people talking blasphemy here. I get it though. Like, Ford guys are always just like, "Oh, you gotta put the Autolite coppers in it. You have to. You can't put anything else in it." Well, you can substitute. It's one of those things, right? You can substitute plugs if you need to, and we did, and they were cheaper than the Autolites I purchased. So we got the full tune-up for this car for like the price I paid for plugs here in Sundry. It's bad. Yeah, see? And that's the thing. Like, I have NGKs in the Civic, which, yes, the Civic is not running on its own fuel system, but they're fine. Even the plugs I pulled out of it weren't that horrible. Right. But yeah, so it should be a good night tonight, with the car meet and everything, because we'll be doing that in an hour. So He had to dip out. See, engine gauge and a mower. That's badass. Pretty sure, yeah, Mach 1, I'm pretty sure he dipped out for the night. So but yeah, I mean, Turbo LS. Badass, but to be expected, Turbo LS, right? But again, nothing wrong with it. I will never ever bash somebody by putting an LS in their vehicle. Ever. You know, I might be like, you know, I can always understand why people put LSs in vehicles. It's fine. But see, and the thing is, I just like to be different. You know, I'm different than everybody else. Like everybody's just like, oh, go throw a 302 in your car. Make me. You know, I even had a guy offer. It's kind of funny. He's up in, I think he's in Spruce Grove. No, he's not in Spruce Grove. Where the hell is he? He's up in Calamar. He was gonna donate me a 351 Windsor with the correct K member. Here, Narcoleptic Customs, I will show you. I will show you what the motor is in my car. He was gonna donate it to me, but I just didn't want it. Not for this car. Ugh. Right there. This, and it's not a 2.3. Because see, there'd be 6. So, and currently, because this has oh, hang on a second. Why is that the title there? Okay, don't fall over. Okay, you're gonna fall over, whatever. There we go. And then on top of the motor, hang on, I will flip it back, is this Autolite 2100, and there's apparently one of my hairs is stuck in there. There we go. Which we just put on 2 weeks ago. Yeah, which this was a lot of work actually. You'd think, oh, it's very simple. Well, actually, there was a lot to do because we deleted all of the emissions, which, you know, you can see all of the vacuum lines that are plugged off everywhere. We also, there was a big tube here that connected to the EGR, and then this one was for an air. It was a catch can for emissions, right? So got rid of that too, and then we just plugged them off and welded it shut. But yeah, and then went to the one hose PVC. And yeah, other than that, you know, the only other thing that I need for this car, just because it's kind of an eyesore now on the back, is get a different breather. Because with that stock one still on there, it's such an eyesore. Compared to, because it looked fine before because there was a hose connecting it and all that stuff. But okay, let me put the air filter back on the car. All right, let's see. Can I minimum up right there? There we go. There we go. So yeah, that internally, that is a 200 inline 6. Underneath is a C4 automatic and the stock 7.5 rear end. Now, you want to go to most likely a T5 tranny manual, and I do want to turbo my engine. But it's gonna be a while. You know, like in this thing, you'd have no idea. Like if you're behind this thing when I'm driving it down the road, you'd have no idea that it's an inline 6 just because of how it sounds. It sounds bitchin', to be honest. Because I have stock manifold, as you saw, but then it's wide into an H pipe and it's got thrush turbos on it. So no tailpipes on this car though. But I will get tall pipes eventually. It's just not high priority at the moment. There's been other stuff that's higher priority. So, which to be honest, I'd probably still have the stock exhaust system on it if I didn't try and cut out the cat. Hey, no worries, Narcoleptic. I definitely appreciate you coming to the live stream, and I definitely appreciate your donation as well. Thank you so much. I'll chat to you later. Hope you enjoy your dinner and have a wonderful evening. Bye. Yeah, we have fun here. But yeah, no, just it's been a fun day. Well, I say fun. Although, and then there was this one, oh god, super sexist comment, and just like, dude, piss off, you know, like, he was saying, okay, first off, one of the things he said, not a bad suggestion actually, is getting a temperature gun, and makes diagnosing stuff really simple. Like if you have a burnt valve or something like that, so like you can put it on the manifold, and one of this will be hotter than the other ones, right, or colder. But I know it's not that, because people were trying to say if that's your exhaust valve, which I know it's not. Because this motor is healthy, very healthy. But then he goes, oh, you just need to find yourself a man, and then he can help you with that, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, dude, really? Like, piss off. I've rebuilt this car just about from the ground up, and like you said, oh, you need a man to teach you your stuff. It's like, I know the car. Like, piss off. I ripped into him a little bit. I don't think he replied. It's just so funny how those people that think, oh yeah, I'm being really good saying sexist shit like that. It's like, yeah, no, that's not cool. It's just not. And if I need assistance with my car, I've got it, from friends, not from granted. Like Roy Marco, for example, yes, he happens to be male, but he knows I'm gay, and he's married, so... Just funny. I just gotta laugh about that stuff, to be honest. I ripped into it a little bit, and then I giggled, because that's what I do. I handle trolls very well, and people... There are some people that say you shouldn't do that, but it's like, well, why? It'll teach them, or sometimes it can. I've actually swayed some people to not be a complete douche, at least to me, when it comes to that, because, I'll rip into people and say stuff, and then they'll actually subscribe to the channel and be like, okay, you're actually a badass chick. That's cool. I'm like, okay, cool. I got you as a supporter of my channel. Badass, right? Like, it's just stuff like that. I don't mind. And like, yeah, and of course, there's going to be disagreements on my channel, obviously. But I've had a few of them just today. With people commenting stuff and whatever else. Oh, I didn't realize that his name was Mike. I didn't know that. Yeah, that was a delayed reaction there, Roy. Because he left about 5 minutes ago. What time is it now? Okay, and the next 10 minutes I'll shut this down, because I do need to clean up the car, wash it, and then go to the car meet. Oh, no worries. I gets it. But yeah, should be a fun night, because we haven't had a car meet in a bit. It's been a couple weeks now, because we got snowed in last week. But now there's no snow on the ground. It's great. There's like slight patches here and there, but I will, thank you. Yeah, we'll see how many people show up, because I have not promoted this one. I've been busy, actually. I was trying to do a little bit of Lumina, and the battery is just, it's so cooked in that car. It's like really bad. So it's just like, okay, cool. So it needs a battery. which blows. Cause yeah. I jumped the battery today, drove it around the yard for 15 minutes, then parked it, or well, and I just like, okay, let's see, is this thing gonna die? You know, like, is it gonna restart back up again? So I turned it off, tried to start it immediately, it was dead. Just like, you were just running for 15 minutes, so okay, fine. After I jumped it again, which takes a bit, to be honest. Oh, no worries, Roy. Definitely appreciate it. Thanks for coming on to the live stream. Hope you have a pleasant evening and good luck with whatever you're working on. Hey, old school, how's it hanging? But yeah, anyways, working on the Lumina today, or attempting to. It's hanging. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, because with that stupid Lumina, because the battery is like dead. So dead that when you jump it, it takes forever for it to actually get a charge, and then yeah. I'm in a tank top. That should say everything you need to know. Yesterday I was in a tank top and shorts. It's wonderful. I loved it. It's not quite as warm today as it was yesterday. Yesterday was 17 degrees. Right now it's 13 degrees. But yeah, here it snowed 1 week ago. And then it's been pretty nice weather since. Like, it was a couple of little colder days. Nights are still cold though. Nights it gets really cold, but it's wonderful. Like this time, actually it was a couple of years ago. Because my dad went, he went hunting, and I remember actually I took a picture of his truck just before he left, and saying, he's off to go hunting, right? Back when he still had the truck, and there was a bunch of snow in the back of the truck, and everywhere. It was cold. But when he left this time, it was nice. So very nice. He's still out hunting. He'll probably be out there till sometime next week. Because what's interesting is, he took this week off because he would have been working this week. Then so he has the next week after. No, he took next week off. That's what it was. Yes, I did, and there was nothing there, which I knew that. Because from going from Toronto to here, you're not going to be anywhere near 3 days. There's no way. For them to put it, I probably won't get it, to be honest. Because then I don't have a traditional mailbox either. I've got a PO box. So they have to physically put it in. They have to put a notice card in the box for me so that I know it's there. But other than that, just gotta wait. That's all. I'll get it. It's probably Monday or Tuesday. I'll have that in, and then I will do an unboxing to see what it is. Because I know 2 of the things in there, but I don't know what you added. So we shall see. Which I'm excited. But yeah, that'll be an unboxing. I don't know if I'll do that live. I might do that live. Why not? We'll make that a live video. Whenever it comes in, I'll put a notification out there on my community tab saying that I'm gonna go live, like probably the next day or something afterwards, and then I'll unbox it. And then Saturday, I'm gonna pull that glass out of the car, buy it, then get it over to a guy's house that's gonna make me louvers. Even though I have louvers, he's gonna make metal ones, and they'll be good. And then nice aluminum that is powder coated, not this ABS plastic that's really thin, and we could go. So yeah, that should be exciting. I just need to buy the tool from Princess Auto, and then me and my friend Nat are gonna go there, pull it, and be good. Yeah, YouTube isn't great for that. Like sometimes they will say, hey, it's going to, like a lot of the time when it comes to community posts, they don't actually give you a notification for it. It's kind of stupid. But when you look in your subscriptions and you scroll down, you will see the community posts. The only time you do is if you get tagged, will you get a notification about it. It's kind of dumb. But the actual videos themselves, you should get a notification within about 10 minutes or so. But oh, that's weird. Because I get notifications when people go live, like almost immediately when they go live. So that's weird. Very weird. Because like there are channels that I should just unsubscribe from. Hey, you do a good job though. You still are in just about every single one of my live streams, and you watch like 99 if not 100% of my videos. So good on you. Appreciate it. And also in something that I don't know if people noticed as much, I hit 200,000 views here on YouTube, which I'm like super excited about, to be honest. You know, yeah, didn't know when I was gonna hit that. Like I've been paying attention to that, and then finally I hit it last night. Just so awesome. So yeah, I have 200,000 views here on the YouTubes. Very excited. Very excited. You know, like when I got it, I was just like bouncing off the walls and stuff. Thank you. Who knows? Maybe if you work hard at it, you'll get there too. If you decide to, because I understand you just do this as a hobby, and you know, you don't care as much. It seems like. Yeah, it is. Like, I don't understand. Okay, you're a dealership and you're a Honda dealer. Why don't you know crap about your own car? Somebody, yes, I own one, and I was able to tell immediately that that was not the 74 like they said it was. And then when I rewatched your video again, just as a double check, I noticed that notch in the body, which that notch in the body is on 78, 79 only. They don't put that there because they don't need to until they updated the bumpers with the rubber pieces, you know, the removable rubber pieces. Because I think on that rear bumper, because that rear bumper is not the original bumper on that car. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, and who knows? He may have just been mistaken too, right? Like he may have said 74 and not meant it. Or somebody could have told him it was a 74 and, you know, never did his research. Because I understand when it comes to, maybe he's a new guy. I don't know. Yeah. But so for context for people watching, so Old School went to this Honda dealer that supposedly has this really nice, like restored, amazing condition. They say it's a 74 Honda Civic. Well, at a quick glance, you can tell it's not a 74. All the parts on it are incorrect for a 74. Even the rear bumper is incorrect for a 74 too. The rear bumper is it was a 76 or 77 rear bumper. The rest of the car is 78, 79. It has the same grille as my car, same hood, and same taillights. That all gave it away for me because, like, granted, you can do a grille swap and you can do a hood swap. I believe they bolt onto each other. It's pretty simple. But the taillights, you have to do a bit of modification to actually make them work because they are in different spots for the lights and everything. Like, you have to modify the harness. So, yeah. And if it was a 74, I think they have smaller taillights too. So you'd have to like physically cut the body. But the thing that gave it away for me is at the rear bumper. Because at the rear bumper, there was a piece of the body that was dimpled in, which they didn't do. If I remember correctly, they did not do that until 78, 79 when they added those rubber pieces. So, you know, it would kind of cover that area. And they needed that so that it would hug the body a little closer. Yeah, just for a styling cue, right? Even though the bumpers were that freaking thick. But, and then the freaking spacers too before the bumper. Like, I would love to on our Civic take the spacers out and just hug the bumpers to the body, but probably not going to do that. But it'd be kind of neat to do. See, the problem is it's a 12-digit VIN, which makes it any decoder online you're SOL on, unless you find a Honda forum that can tell you that. But I don't know the differences in VIN on those Civics though. So that's the problem. It wasn't until 1980 where they went to the 17 or 18 digit VIN, right? Because before that, there was actually, you didn't need a certain length on your VIN. You could just have it to whatever you wanted. So on any of your cars. So yeah. But to my knowledge, no, unless you, like I said, find a forum, they might have information on that to decode the VIN. But because it's a 12-digit VIN, no. It goes by the vehicle was made. The VIN doesn't change when it gets to the dealer. The only time that has happened, and it's happened a few times throughout history, is you can take every single 1970 Shelby Mustang is actually a 69. Every single one, they're just revinned in 1970. Because they didn't sell, they actually got the FBI in to make sure it was all legit and they weren't screwing anything up, and they revinned the vehicles. That's the only time that ever happens. Yeah, see, sometimes there'll be discrepancies like that, but it's discrepancies of months, not years. Which that's fine, because built in late, 87, which that would be regular for back then, as an 88 model. That's normal. But yeah, like, your VIN should say it's a 88 though. But because like mine, I'm not sure when this one was actually built though. I haven't looked into that. But this car, I mean, you look at it, 81 VIN, and it is an 81. Which is interesting because for 1979, 1980, 1981, and 1982 Mustangs, when it came to the inline six, actually, you can tell each of them apart. Every single year of it, because 82 was the only year with an actual smog pump on it. 81 was the only year with the EGR, and catch can. 1980 didn't have any emissions, and 1979 and a half didn't have any emissions either, but the door handles were on the bottom of the door. So it's kind of a cool way to, if you see an inline six Fox body that hasn't been modified, it's an easy way to tell what year it is by looking at the emissions or looking at the doors. Little tidbit for you if you ever find an inline six Fox body at a show or anything, which you probably won't, to be honest. They're pretty hard to come by. I see there's a couple of them for sale here in Alberta, but it's very seldom they come up because most people don't work on these. They just swap them. Or like a really simple swap on this car to do would be a small block Chevy, but I'm not doing it. An old like 350 to 327, something like that. But yeah. But anyways, it is. Oh, hang on. My 78 has the antenna in the same spot, so Like, yeah. But to be honest, it was pretty common though, like when it comes to American vehicles, that it was on the passenger side, right? So being that that Civic, granted, I mean it's in Canada, but same diff, right? Um, that Civic was sold in North America, the antenna is probably going to be on the passenger side because that's just what they did. They didn't really put them in different spots. Because even when you had power antennas, I believe they were the bulk of them were still on the passenger side, but in the back. So most power antennas back in the day, anyways. You know, nowadays they just put this little thing on your roof and that's your antenna. Very weird. But yeah, because like I said, my 78 is the same way. So hey, it's also packaging too. And there is an aerodynamic for aerodynamics, not that they were building that in a wind tunnel, but there is something to be said about aerodynamics of putting your antenna at an angle like that to help with airflow, right? And on top of the car too. Don't put it on the fender like it's on mine, like on my Mustang. It makes perfect sense, to be honest. Um, but it is getting towards the time that I should be heading to the car meets here. Just need to clean up the car a little bit here, and then I'll be headed there. So, I hope you all have a pleasant evening. Thank you all so much for coming out. For those of you that stuck around to the end, and yeah, should be a fun night. Catch you all later. Bye, Pikachu.